What's going on, everyone? It's Bowles, and Manchester United just won 4-0. This is a little review video, so yeah, there you go. Won 4-0. Very, very happy. Very good performance. Obviously, we just watched it. Otherwise, we wouldn't be talking about it. So 4-0. Rashford scored twice. Scored a penalty. Kelly photo, my dog photo bomb in the video. Oh, there you go.
Video bomb in the video.
Yeah, whatever. Rashford scored the first goal, penalty. Rashford then scored the third goal later on. Martial got on the score sheet, scoring the second goal. And Daniel James came on as a sub and scored in his Man United debut. So, yeah, it's good for him. Obviously, with his father passing away not too long ago and him being able to come on and score in his debut was very, very good for him. Very, very happy for him. So, probably the best moment of the game. And Rashford's second goal was the best goal of the game, I'd say. So, what do you think of the performance, Ryan?
I think going player by player. I think De Gea.
We'll do that in a sec. But just give me your overall.
Yeah.
Feeling of
overall
the
the game. I thought first half. I think we were a little bit nervous. Gave away a lot of possession. We're not really the most possession-based team, but gave away a little bit too much possession. But yeah, I wasn't. I was okay. They weren't really doing that much. They did hit the post twice, but it wasn't really. Yeah, I just wasn't really concerned, but I was more annoyed. We needed to do a bit more in the attacking third, and then coming into the second half, that all changed. Like we saw 4-0 obviously in the end. The attack was much more free flowing. Everyone wasn't as nervous on the ball. Players were making smarter decisions, not making nervous decisions, and yeah, overall it was a good start to the season.
Yeah, no, agreed. So yeah, I'd pretty much say the same thing. Yeah, very good performance. Good to keep the clean sheet. Yeah. That's as Mark Goldbridge said on United stand. It was like another goal, really. So good to keep a clean sheet. So
we end up being second on the ladder now.
Yep, second on the table behind Manchester City. They are obviously top of the table because of their 5-0 win against West Ham at London Stadium last night. And Liverpool, we moved above them. Probably the only time, maybe the only time we're above them this season. Who knows? I'm a little bit more optimistic than what Ryan is at the moment, but I'm not saying we're going to win the league or anything or whatever. But Leicester won the title 3 years ago, so if they can win the title, I know everyone played bad, but so we can win the title, we can. But I don't think we will. I think we're battling out for fourth and third, somewhere around that, maybe fifth as well. So somewhere around there is probably where we're going to finish. So we're getting the play ratings. We'll start off at the back with David De Gea. I'm going to give him an 8.5. I think that he deserved 8.5 because he made 7 saves, kept out Chelsea. With a lot of them were just at him, but you've still got to say them. We saw him last season.
I think the best save he made was the one with his feet.
Yeah, with Barkley shot in the first quarter. So, but you got to be able to save them. Like he did the job.
But again, there's lots of saves that keepers should make that they don't make.
And they spill and it goes through for a goal. So
still had to make them.
Would you agree with 8.5?
Yeah, I agree 8.5. He made a lot of saves and he looked like a captain today. His ball playing was better than I've seen in a long time. So yeah.
Now we'll go to Wan-Bissaka. I'm going to give him a 9. I think that nothing got past him really. He at times
he made one mistake in the whole game, and that wasn't really his fault. So
yeah, agreed. So I thought he was amazing on especially for his debut for a guy that's probably 20, 21, somewhere around that age. He's very, very young, but to be able to do that on your Man United debut at Old Trafford as well, with the pressure from the fans of being a £55 million right back, the biggest right back signing in the history of football, to have that pressure and not worry about it and perform like he was very, very good. So you said 9, yeah?
Yeah, I say 9.
So we'll move on to Victor Lindelof. I'll give him an 8, just because he wasn't outstanding or amazing. And he did the job. He didn't really make any mistakes at all, from what I can recall.
Again, that one with Bissaka, that was the only mistake that whole defence made in the whole game, really. So
I'd give him an 8 because he wasn't amazing, but he was very, very good. He was very, very good.
A lot with Lindelof this season, because it happened Maguire being more the guy who's more combative, the guy who's more Lindelof is more the third man. He kind of goes under the radar. He's not going to have Maguire's going to look better than him in more games. Lindelof's a quiet achiever.
Yeah. Did I give? So Lindelof was an 8.
Yeah.
Did I give? What do we give Wan-Bissaka? Was it 9?
9.
Next, Maguire. you got to give your man a match of 10. Really, like that's generally how you go. Like they're best player on the pitch.
I would probably give him a 9.5.
Well, I'll give it. Yeah, we'll give him a 9.5. But he won every aerial duel, didn't lose one. Everything was outstanding from him. He didn't make any mistakes, as you said. Besides that one where the whole defence really made the mistake. He's only been there for 3 or 4 days, so it's pretty impressive considering what he was able to do.
Think about that was Lindelof and Maguire's first game together.
Yeah, and they kept clean sheet, which is very, very good. So, 9.5. Luke Shaw, I'll give him an 8 as well. A little bit like Lindelof. Didn't do anything amazing, but did the job. Yeah. Kept the clean sheet. And again, he was very, very good defensively.
Backing up what you said earlier on the week, saying that, about Luke Shaw being defensively very strong. It just shows today that, again, they didn't really go down his side at all. They wanted to go down Wan-Bissaka's side. You're not even going to get any joy down there, but that's how much they didn't want to go down Luke Shaw's side, because Luke Shaw defensively, as a defender, one of the best in the league. Attacking-wise, he needs to work on it, but, again, just showed he done his job.
Yeah, so there you go.
I agree with 8.
McSauce, Scott McTominay. I'd probably give him
a 7.5.
A 7.5. Yeah, I was going to say 7.5 as well. He did his job. There's a couple of mistakes. The first half were a bit shaky, especially the whole midfield. Really, were a bit shaky in the first half, but the second half did very, very good. So he did the job. So 7.5 for good old McSauce there.
It was good to see him playing instead of Matic.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, that's a positive.
I want that to be the same next week. We'll talk about that in a sec.
Paul Pogba, I'll give him an 8.5. You would, if he didn't get 2 assists, you probably would have said 7.5. But because he got 2 assists, those were world class passes from the best midfielder in the world, in my opinion.
Yeah, now he's playing that role where you can actually compare him this season to De Bruyne. Before, you couldn't do that because they played different positions.
I personally think he's better than De Bruyne.
Yeah, I think he can do more things than what De Bruyne can. Opinion. But but this season we can see what's up. But anyway, with Paul Pogba, I think same as McSauce, they were a little bit on the ball. Sometimes they gave it away a little bit too much, doing especially Pogba more doing too many tricky things. But that's why if he didn't do those things, I probably would have given him a 9. Yeah, but probably 8.5.
Yeah, so 8.5. Next is Andreas Pereira. I'd probably give him a 7.5 as well. I would have said probably a little bit like a 7 if he hadn't got the assist, but because he got the assist, the ball was very, very good for Martial's goal, so you got to give him a 7.5 at least. He did all right. The thing that managers have made in the past, I was saying to Ryan before off air, that the thing that managers have done in the past is that they played him for a game or two. He's then had a bad performance, and then he's been just pushed aside and not considered. He played all right. You got to keep him in the lineup for 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 games. Give him a good run.
Not that long, but
give him a good run and then judge him.
Give him a run. I expect to see, not looking at the Wolves' performance, I expect to see him at least in the team for 3, 4 games. Yeah. And then after that, it's okay, we'll see.
If he didn't do well in 4 or 5 games,
it's very hard for a guy like Andreas and a guy like McTominay to their first performance in the team be this is outstanding, and then they're gonna show signs in their first 1 or 2 performances, and then it's okay, we want to see more, and then it's okay, well, do we drop you or do we keep you in? So I'd like to see Andreas improve on this performance next time, and then keep going up, and then getting to a level where it's okay, you should be in the team. Because right now, what I said before the assist, I said that I wouldn't keep him in the team next week. I think based on the performance winning 4-0, you have to keep him in the team next week. Just keep the same 11, but. Yeah, he wasn't really doing that much. I'd like to see
Fred given a little bit more opportunity as well.
Yeah, so what do you give him, 7.5? I give him 7.5 too.
Yep, so we'll move on now to Jesse Lingard, 7.5 again, I think. For me, my highlight of him is he always just works really, really hard, tireless efforts.
And that's not what
first,
qualifies
second,
him to be a United player. It's not about he should be in our team because he runs.
As you said, he played really well when he's centrally dribbling,
he plays really well.
But then when he goes out wide, he goes in and out of games. He can sort of a little bit inconsistent when he's out wide. So when he's central, it's good. So
that's where his best moments were, when he picks the ball up in those pockets and runs at the defence. As a winger, his dribbling style doesn't suit a winger.
I'd like to see someone like James
his dribbling style suits a midfielder. He's got that kind of directness with his running through. But as a winger, you need to be able to change direction quickly, like a Jadon Sancho and Mbappe type. He doesn't really have that.
So yeah.
What do we give 7.5?
7.5. Yeah, we said that 3 times now.
Did you?
So move on to Anthony Martial. My
Tony.
man had him in my fantasy Premier League team. Not many people had him, and we both had him, and he scored. So beautiful. So that's good. I'll give him an 11 out of 10. Fantastic. No, I'm kidding. We'll give him I'd say an 8. A solid.
I wish we could give him a 9.
I wish we'd give him a 9 as well, but I'll give him an 8 because he scored the goal. He got his goal, but he was very shaky in the first half. Did a few things that, like a few loose passes, a few sort of skillful tricks that didn't come off,
and not
like
choosing,
fancy footwork
not choosing
or whatever.
the right pass. Like there was times where Pereira was free at the back post, didn't even look at him, took too long to get his shot away, took too long to make his decisions, and that's not just this game. He does that a little bit, so he'll iron that out hopefully.
Yeah,
hopefully.
So solid 8 for Martial. Scored a nice goal.
Same.
And then Marcus Rashford, I'll give him a 9. I'll give him. You could say 9.25 almost because Maguire got man of the match, so you give a 9.5. Rashford a 9.25. I'll give him a 9 though. I'll stay on the top of that. Because again, in the first half, the reason it's not a 9.5 is because in the first half he was a little bit like Martial, like in and out of games. He was doing a few tricks and stuff that didn't come off, some loose passes that he wasn't doing. And there was also passes where he's trying to flick it back, but he didn't look over his shoulder to make sure someone was there. Exactly. And it would go to Chelsea and then they'd counter-attack us. So,
who was the one... Martial, that was that very loose pass in the first half with the Barkley thing. So he just needs to tighten up a bit on that.
Yeah, so we'll give Rashford 9 because he scored the 2 goals as well. So if Maguire wasn't there, he would have got the man of the match for me probably. He was probably next best, and Wan-Bissaka was probably 3. So if you're going to give a gold, silver, bronze medal,
I think the reason why Wan-Bissaka didn't get it as well because he didn't really need to be called on much in the second half at all. Whereas Maguire was called on more times
just one
consistency
his aerial duels the whole game. So so bronze medal you'd obviously give it to Wan-Bissaka, silver medal Rashford, and gold medal you'd give to Harry Maguire.
And what we've got next week, we've got who?
We've got Wolves away, so that's going to be a very interesting game. Wolves are a very tough opponent, as they said on. You got to do the subs. We've got to do subs. Oh yes, hang on. Yeah, before we do that, so subs. So Daniel James, you've got to give him like an 8.5. Yeah. He scored the goal, but besides that, you can't do much in 20 minutes.
It's a little bit annoying that he brings on his subs usually just after the 70th minute mark. I'd like to see some of his subs coming on.
Because players need at least 20 minutes plus to get in the game. So 8.5 for James, scored the goal. Who else we have? So Juan Mata, 7. Didn't really hear his name too much, but didn't do anything wrong. So you can't really give him anything under a 7. And who was the other one? Mason Greenwood probably 7 as well because I didn't know him too much. He only came on for like 8 minutes. Yeah, came on for like 8 minutes. So him and Matt only came on for less than 10 minutes. So you can't really have a goal with him or anything. So just get the stock standard 7. So
I'm really happy for Daniel James as well. Like dreams, like we just said before, dreams come true.
Yeah, he's got big name. Obviously,
how cool was that? That was a good moment.
Big nationality to live up to. Obviously, Ryan Giggs being the other Welsh Manchester United player, so he's got a bit of a legacy to live up to there. But he can create his own legacy. He doesn't have to live Ryan Giggs' legacy. So Wolves away next week. As I was saying, they sold Optus Sports one of the toughest trips. Obviously, none of the top 6 sides actually went away there with 3 points.
There you go.
Only, I think it was Man City. They drew with Man City at home, which is saying something because they won the league. And I think it was the same story with Liverpool. Liverpool might have got a win.
There's going to be games in the season where it's like Burnley away, Wolves away, Man City away, Liverpool away. There's about 5 or 6. Tough.
I think Aston Villa's another one.
Tough, Goodison Park. Like, do they even play Goodison Park anymore? Or is it the new Everton Stadium?
I think it's Goodison Park. I don't think Everton.
Either way, what I'm trying to say is this is one of those games where a tough away fixture. So
so I was just checking how long we'd gone for. So because the screen is crap.
I expect to see the same starting 11 next week.
Yeah, I'd expect to say that.
But before the Pereira, got the assist, I would have probably liked to see Pereira come out next week, play Jesse Lingard as the number 10 and...
Maybe bring Daniel James or Mason Greenwood or
maybe even bring like a Diogo Dalot. Like, I think Daniel James off the bench is a bit better than as a starter at this point in time. That's the only other things I could say. And all I just want to say to finish off is I don't really want to see Matic next week. I'll be really annoyed. I mean, he's not going to.
Matic is already over 30. He's on his way out in terms
I
of
think-
he's close to retirement. Father Time's catching up with him. McTominay's still young, still improving, and we said this time probably last year that he wasn't good. We weren't the biggest fan of him. We didn't know why
but we
the
also
managers
knew that
kept
he was
persisting with him.
We also knew that he was young and he had that potential too. Like it wasn't like he was 30 and it was like, wow, this guy's terrible. He was 20, so he could grow
but
into it,
the fact that he's played really, really well the last 12 months, and he's changed our opinions, is saying something. And we're not saying that we're experts or anything, but
we have a harsh opinion.
The fact that he's turned it around and playing really, really well. I hope that he gets a long run in the team, and hopefully Pogba plays next to him, and we play very similar midfield to what we had today. So so Wolves away. We'll preview that game a bit more on the podcast on Tuesday. It'll be midday, but by the time it goes up, it'll be about the night time. So make sure you keep tuned for that. That'll be up. It won't take as long as this.
What do we predict for this game? Do you remember what we predicted in the podcast?
I honestly can't remember.
We'll see.
I think I might have said 3-0, maybe. I don't know, but hey. I thought we keep it clean. I thought we keep it clean.
Closing thoughts.
Very, very good. That's it.
Yeah, very.
That's all you have to say. So we're starting to get a little bit running on too long.
I think the closing thoughts, like the closing positive of today was seeing McTominay and Pogba. Like not seeing Matic was my favourite thing of the day. Like I know that sounds pretty funny because he didn't even play, but that was my favourite thing. And what was your favourite thing? If you had to pick one thing, what was your favourite thing of the?
Have Martial on my fantasy team. There you go. So he scored. I'm very happy. So
seeing Martial in that number 9 shirt and seeing him score.
I predicted as well. I said he'd score. I said he was going to score. I think I might have said on the video. If I didn't, I said it before the game started.
He was saying
he can vouch for that.
In the first half, I was saying, I'm not sure, and he said Martial will score before the game ends.
I thought having the number 9 shirt. So.
And I was like, we'll see.
Yeah. So we'll talk a little bit more about all the other results happen as well. Review all the results. Some winners and losers out of the weekend could necessarily be people that lost could be winners. So people maybe like Sheffield United or Aston Villa or something because they had good performances. But we'll review that. Preview the upcoming games and talk a little bit about fantasy and how that went for us in the first week. That'll be up Tuesday. This will be up, obviously, probably tomorrow. Later on today on a Monday. The Tuesday will be the podcast, and then we'll go again when Manchester United play later on the week against Wolves. So, thank you again for Ron for joining me. He'll be here again Tuesday, so I'll be stuck with him again. We'll record the podcast, and and you guys will be able to see it. But yes, so thank you everyone that's watched the podcast, the first one. If you want to go watch it again, go watch it. It's not all about the first game week. We previewed the whole season in general. We previewed the transfers that came in and out, and some fantasy tips and stuff. So maybe some of you might want to bring in or whatever. So go check that out and give a like on the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. So that's it today. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you on Tuesday for the podcast. So
that's it. We're out.
Cheers.